Hello students, today we'll start with our unit number 4, which is hydraulic circuits and contamination control. In previous unit we studied about direction control valve, pressure control valve and flow control valve. In this particular unit we shall study its application. So in first lecture let's study about hydraulic circuits using direction control valve. So let us look at this first diagram. This is nothing but a pilot operated applications of a pilot operated valve to control the table of a surface grinder. So this is a surface grinding machine which has a workpiece installed at its bench. It has a to and fro. This bench has a to and fro motion against a rotating wheel, so that there will be machining operation. So let us consider that here there is a wheel, okay, and this wheel is actually rotating and this workpiece is rotating against that wheel, okay, so it is getting machined. So coming to the circuit, so what you observe is that from the pressurized fluid comes from the pump and it goes to the rod end side of this particular actuator, which is directly connected to the table. So because of which the retraction motion will start. So whenever this particular table reaches to the retracted position, this S1, this S1 stopper will hit this position B1 for this 2x4 direction control valve, which is pilot operated. So when this D1 is activated, suddenly you can see that this particular pilot operated valve, main valve, will change its position. So because if it changes its position to the this side, this position, so what you observe is that the fluid which is coming from the pump will now go to through this line to the cap end side of the actuator, and it will start extending, okay. So similarly the motion will start from the this side, so extension will start. So because of this, again whenever this S2 hits the B2, again the pilot signal will be sent to the main valve, and again it will change its position to whatever it is shown in the diagram. So this is how this is the application of a pilot operated valve to control the table of a surface grinder. So let us consider raising and lowering of the weights in the industry. So you can see there are three diagrams. There is a counterbalance valve which is placed. Okay, there are flow meters. This is a three position 4 ports valve. Okay, so you can see that a pressurized fluid will come from the pump and it goes to the cap end side of the actuator in this diagram. Okay, so because of this this particular piston will move downwards, that means the load will move downward. So whenever it moves downward, you can see that there is a valve, okay. So the fluid is not able to freely go to the tank, it has to pass through this check valve, okay. So it will make sure that the fluid will go slowly, and it will make sure that this load will load will load slowly, okay. Now coming to the next diagram, that is diagram B, what you observe is that this is the holding position of the load. That means at one particular position you can hold the actuator. That means this load is on a suspended position and it is holded at one particular point. How you can say that it is holded? You can see that there is no flow through these lines, and just because of this check valve, because of this valve, okay, you can see that the fluid will remain in the rod end side of the actuator, and it will make sure that this load will remain in one particular position. So this is called as a locking of the actuator. Now looking at this diagram number C, okay, so what you observe is that raising the load. So from here, from this pump, the high pressure fluid will go to this line to the rod end side of the actuator. Now this valve is only one directional valve, so it will not resist the fluid movement while the fluid goes to the rod end side of the actuator, and it will try to lift the load, and from this from the cap end side of the actuator, fluid will go to the tank. So this indicates raising of the load. So this is how raising, lowering, holding and raising of the load is possible using direction control valve. So this diagram will indicate the use of shuttle valve to control the single acting cylinder. So you can see that there are two direction control valves in this particular circuit, and the use of shuttle valve is to make sure that only one side should supply. So in this first diagram you can see that the fluid will not is not able to reach to the actuator, and this is a retraction position. That means because of this spring which is at the rod end side of the actuator, this is a single acting actuator, the fluid will move down from this line and it will go back to the tank through DCV number 2. Okay, and depending on whichever the what is the pressure setting, it will either go out through DCV1 or DCV2. Now whenever you want to make sure that there should be a extension position, then this second diagram will show you the extension of the actuator. So you can see that from the high pressure pump, the fluid will go through DCV1. It will go through DCV1, and because it is going through DCV1, naturally this shuttle valve will shift its position to this side, and the fluid will go to the cap end side of the actuator, and because of which this actuator will extend and this spring will get compressed. So again, whenever it reaches its extreme position, whenever you want to retract, just make sure that you change this position of this DCV. Okay, so if you change the position of this DCV1, it will make sure that it will start retraction as indicated in this first figure. So let us consider about regenerative circuit. So in regenerative circuit, direction control valves are used. So you can see that in this particular diagram, the leftmost diagram indicate that there is an extension of the actuator. This actuator is extending. You can see that from the high pressurized fluid will go to the cap end of the actuator, and the actuator will extend. Now the fluid which is there at the rod end of the actuator will be again circulated to the high pressure line, and it again goes to the cap end side of the actuator. That means it is nothing but increasing the discharge on the cap end side of the actuator. That will increase the velocity of the actuation. So because of that, the velocity will also increase. So that will cause a faster movement of the actuator in the forward stroke. So looking at the second diagram, what you find is that when the actuator reach at its extreme position, you can see that this particular because it reaches its extreme position but pump is still supplying, the pressure in this particular line will increase, and this will give a pilot signal to this particular direction control valve which is pilot operated. So it will change its position, or it will shift its position to this side. So what you observe is that whatever the fluid is there in the rod end side of this actuator will again go to the tank through the main direction control valve. So this is about letting go the fluid to the tank. So again, if I want to make sure that this is up to on the extension side, and whenever I want a retraction of the actuator, then what will happen, you just change the position of this direction control valve using this lever. So what you observe is that the fluid will now has to go through the another path. Now as this valve is at its original position, is not letting go this fluid directly to the rod end side of the actuator, but it has to go through this path. So the fluid will follow this path and it will go to the rod end side of the actuator, and it will make sure that the retraction will be smooth and slow. So because of this extra path which need to be followed by the fluid, this extra path, you can say that the velocity of extension in this circuit will be greater than the velocity of retraction. Okay, so velocity of extension will be greater than velocity of retraction in this case. So these are the references from where the most of the diagram of this particular video is taken. So these are NPTEL notes you can refer, and this particular video is a part of a classroom teaching and not made for any kind of a commercial purpose. Thank you. In next lecture we will study about application of pressure control valve in the hydraulic circuit. Thank you.